What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below. As usual, go get it. PayPal link there also. Asked me to put it up, so I'll put it up. Thanks, everybody, for supporting. This video is entitled Why Good People Have Issues. You know, some people are good people. Good, nice, cool people. But a lot of people can't handle that. And what I mean by that is, for whatever reason, I talked about, the difference between being nice and needy on a live in my car or whatever. But there are some good people who made a choice to be good people because that's what they wanted to be. But people like to test that. You got people, when somebody's a good person, who they have to create arguments and conflicts and confrontations with that person to, let me see if you're really a good person by me trying to burn this bridge with you, or me trying to talk bad about you, or me trying to use you, or me trying to play you. Let's see how you respond to that. This is why good people have issues, because that ideology isn't their issue. It's whoever does that. That's not their issue. That'll be your issue. You get what I'm saying? So because they're a good person to you, you in turn gotta try to stab them in the back to see if they turn around and become quote unquote Jesus or something, and see if they forgive you. And then all of a sudden you'll accept that they're a good person, but they're still supposed to be around you and trust you. Seriously? No. This is why good people have issues. Sometimes people are around good people and they resent good people because they're not good people themselves. So they do dirt to these good people, but those good people don't know it because they don't have the heart to say what they're doing. So they'll be smiling in your face all the time, trying to take your place, backstabbers, but they're uncomfortable around you because they don't want to tell you they're the ones causing your discomfort in life, because you're a good person and they can't handle that. So they're not, they just feel like throwing a monkey wrench in your life. I know what I said prior to people do that, but there's some people who just don't say what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? They don't ask for forgiveness. They don't tell you they did X, Y, Z. People come to find it out like, wow, this whole time? This whole time. And that becomes a problem. This is why good people have issues. Good people have issues because when people view them as good people or view you as a good person, what's going to wind up happening is they're going to always feel like they can call on you. You're always there. You got the kind words. You're going to pick people up when they're down. But the problem is you don't give kind words to good people. You don't pick good people up when they're down. You just leave them. And then you wonder, like, man, why don't I meet people like this anymore? It's not that you don't. It's that, after a while, the quote-unquote good people, they kind of disperse. That's because they've been good to everybody but themselves. And the fact that they've been good to everybody but themselves is a problem. And I'm not saying people are being good people to get something out of it. What I'm saying is, you need to vet people properly. Well, the problem with that is it's hard to vet people when people aren't real. People aren't, you want good people to vet fake people. And that's something that you're going to find out how real or fake they are in dealing with them. You're not going to necessarily find out that they're real or fake just by, not necessarily intuition, because the one thing I say people know in general, people say they trust your intuition. And I believe in that also. I get it. Trust your gut. Trust your instincts. But there is a flaw in that. And the flaw is sometimes you're not trusting your instincts. You're trusting your fear or your pain. And you looking at somebody as a representation of your fear or your pain or your angst. And you're taking it out on them. And because you're taking it out on them, you're going to come to find out that your instincts were wrong because you never used them. You just straight threw somebody under the bus. So you didn't really vet them. You judged them, prejudged them, treated them as you prejudged them, and you were wrong. And, good people do that too, but normally a good person will, double back and say, look, I was wrong. I did this, and that. But the vast majority of us people aren't like that. So you could prejudge somebody and treat somebody a certain way and then act like it never happened. And it did. And good people have issues with that. Because sometimes you prejudge quote unquote good people by the bad people that you let into your life. So they may look a certain, remind you of that, or dress like that, or have a certain demeanor that reminds you of somebody that you don't like. I remember I was dating this girl, and me and her didn't work out. And I was like, what is the issue? And she was like, you remind me of a guy that I once knew. This is why I can't really be with you. And she's like, you understand, right? And I was like, no, I'm not an Usher song. That's stupid. But the irony of that is, that was some years ago. I think now she's like a single mother with 3 kids. So the guy that I reminded her of is not the guy that left her single with 3 kids. She didn't have any kids when I met her. And I don't think she's married. Not my business. And I'm sure all them kids ain't by the same dude, because I talked to a friend that knows her. But because of prejudging me, she didn't vet the next guy that I guess he reminded her of something positive, but he wasn't a positive, but it didn't end in a positive way. Let's just say that. And this is the issue. Good people have issues too, because what winds up happening is when a person is on guard, you put yourself in one of those situations where, I'm going to prove myself to them because they put their guard up and they wanted me to prove this and prove that. And now now I'm worthy of being around them, this, that, and the third. What the hell is going on? People sending me stuff. And the issue comes in, you kind of regret that you did that because you proved it to the wrong person. And when the right person came by, you judged them. And now when you see them again, they're not, they're you regret it. You regret it because you're like, oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm looking up the person to make sure that I'm not tripping because they still single, still the same last name and all. Because I didn't want to be wrong, but because I didn't, because I'd have had to correct myself, and I'd rather do it in the video. But there's this other thing, I remember a situation where people were good people. They worked hard, they got money, and then you asking them for money or help or a handout, and they give it to you. And because they're a good person, you assume that, okay, well, I came to them in humility, but when I got what I wanted out of them, I'm straight disrespectful. But they're a good person; they're not going to respond. They should not be able to respond with this same kind of disrespect that I gave them, which is ridiculous. And then when they respond with that same type of disrespect that you gave them, all of a sudden, you're not a good person because you wouldn't act like that. No, that's not true. Being good doesn't mean you're a doormat or a pushover or somebody's whipping post or just, somebody's person that's less than. That's not what it is. And this is why good people have issues, because all of a sudden you're not good no more because of your actions. And I remember, talk to people who I'm religious and this, and the third. I'm like, you do remember that Jesus was flipping over tables and chairs. So even, being upset about somebody doing BS is normal, even for good people. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I thought about it, and I was like, man, let me get this out here because I was supposed to make videos yesterday, but I didn't. But like, share, subscribe, catch you on the next one. Peace.